What's up everyone, we're going to be going through the best WNBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and as you guys see, we actually got 20 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get 20 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon, which will be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $800 just yesterday. Another member who won $592 for the 6th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description. So go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout out to Kenny GP 6911 who said I smell money bags, and also shouts out to Nick Stenseth 3728 who said 16-2 and now 17-2 after today. So we've been on a little bit of a hot streak as well with these picks, so shouts out to them. And if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below on this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're going to be talking about is none other than Tiffany Hayes, and this one is actually for 3.5 rebounds, and this one is for less. Now looking at Tiffany Hayes, we actually have seen her go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now looking at those last 5 games, we do see on June 23rd, faced off against Connecticut, actually had 4 rebounds there. Then June 26th, faced off against New York Liberty, had 5 rebounds. June 28th, faced off against Chicago, had 5 rebounds again. And then June 30th against Seattle, actually had 3 rebounds, and then also 3 rebounds on July 6th against Minnesota. So we actually have seen Tiffany Hayes go on the under, quite a few times. But looking at this matchup, we do know that Tiffany Hayes and Golden State Valkyrie do face off against Atlanta Dream. Now it's definitely going to be an exciting game between both of these teams, but looking at where both of these teams do rank, we do know that Atlanta Dream do actually rank 5th in the WNBA with a record of actually 11 wins and 7 losses, so they actually rank 5th. Now Valkyries on the other side of things do rank 6th, so just 1 slot below, and they have a record of actually 9 wins and 8 losses. So for that reason, there's definitely going to be an exciting game as both these teams do rank somewhat similar. Now Valkyries do have a record of 52.9% win percentage. Atlanta Dream have a record of win percentage of 61.1%, and they are also 7-3 at home, 4-4 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. Valkyries, on the other hand, have a 7-3 home record, 2-5 away record, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak as well. So when it comes to someone like Tiffany Hayes, when we look at Atlanta Dream, we do see that Atlanta Dream, when it comes to rebounds allowed, they do actually surprisingly rank 2nd. And for that reason, since they rank very high, that's a big reason why we do like the under for someone like Tiffany Hayes coming into this situation. We definitely have seen, Tiffany Hayes do a very good job throughout the regular season. Yes, that is true. But coming into this next one, we do very much like the under due to the fact that Atlanta Dream have just done a fantastic job all season at actually restricting, rebounds. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for this situation here. Now, looking at, this matchup even further, we also do know that when it comes to Atlanta and the matchup against Golden State Valkyries, definitely going to be an intense game, but we are expecting also Atlanta Dream to really try and slow down the pace of this game. Now, Atlanta Dream, a big reason why they've done such a fantastic job at actually restricting, points, rebounds, and assists, just all 3 categories in general, it's definitely due to the fact that Atlanta actually do a fantastic job at actually slowing down the pace of the games, and we are expecting that to happen in this next matchup for sure. So for that reason, we do very much and are sticking to the under for this one. So keep an eye out for it. So Tiffany Hayes, 3.5 rebounds for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about none other than Alyssa Thomas. So Alyssa Thomas, great player as we all know. And this one is a fantastic one for 8.5 rebounds. And this one is for less. Now looking at Alyssa Thomas, we actually have seen her go in the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Looking at those 5 games, we do see that on June 20th, faced off against New York Liberty, had 15 rebounds there. June 22nd, faced off against Chicago, and we actually saw her in that matchup have 3 rebounds. Then 9 rebounds actually against New York Liberty on June 28th. Then after that, Las Vegas Aces had 7 rebounds on June 30th, and then also 7 rebounds against Dallas Wings on July 4th. So we have actually seen Alyssa Thomas go on the under, like I said, quite consistently, 3 out of the last 5. Now coming into this next matchup, we do know that Phoenix do face off against Dallas Wings. So it's definitely going to be an exciting game between both of these teams for sure. Now looking at where both of these teams do actually rank, we do know that Phoenix Mercury have had a great record, actually ranking 2nd in the WNBA and also 2nd in the Eastern Conference. Now their record is actually 12 wins and 6 losses, so they've definitely done a fantastic job. A 66.7% win percentage. On top of that, they also are 7-3 at home, 5-3 on away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. Okay, so it's definitely been a bit tough for Mercury as of recent, but they are looking to try and hope and bounce back. Now, coming into this next one, they do face off, as we all know, against Dallas Wings. And looking at Dallas Wings, we have seen them do a pretty poor job throughout the regular season because they actually rank 11th in the WNBA with a record of 6 wins and 13 losses. So that's a really poor record. 31.6% win percentage has definitely been tough there. On top of that, we've also seen, them go 4-6 at home, 2-7 from away, and on a 2-game win streak as well. So in that matchup coming into this next one, we do see that defensively, Dallas Wings, when it actually comes to rebounds allowed, we do see that they rank 4th. So although Dallas Wings are a poor defensive team in general, they are also a very low tier team in that sense. They still do rank very high when it comes to rebounds, and that's a big reason why we do very much like the under for this situation here. It probably does surprise a lot of people that they do a fantastic job against rebounds, but coming into this one, we do very much like the under for this situation here. So definitely keep an eye out for someone like Alyssa Thomas coming into this game. We definitely see a lot of value there to go on the under in this situation, especially for a matchup like this. So for that reason, keep an eye out for Alyssa Thomas in this one. So Alyssa Thomas, 8.5 rebounds for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about another great player, and that is none other than Jordan Canada. Now, Jordan Canada, great player as we all know, but this one is actually for points, and this one is for 10.5 points, and this one is for less. Now, looking at Jordan Canada, we actually have seen her go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we definitely see, some pretty interesting stat lines. We saw on June 23rd, face off against Chicago, had 6 points there. Then June 25th, face off against Dallas Wings, had 0 points in that matchup. June 28th, faced off against Minnesota, 14 points, 15 points against New York Liberty on June 30th, and then against Seattle had 25 points on July 4th. So we definitely have seen some pretty interesting stat lines there. Now coming into this next matchup, it's definitely going to be an exciting one, but what we also do see is that when it comes to Jordan Canada and Atlanta Dream, they do face off against Golden State Valkyries. So we have already touched on Golden State Valkyries and where they do rank, but just to remind you all, Atlanta Dream do rank 5th, but 2nd in the Eastern Conference. And then on top of that, we also do see that Golden State Valkyries rank 6th in the WNBA, but also rank 4th in their actual conference, the Western Conference. So that's definitely something to kind of keep an eye out for there. But coming into this next one, it's definitely going to be an interesting one, but we do actually like the under for this situation, as we've mentioned. But a big reason why we do like this is that we look at Golden State Valkyries and we do see that they rank 2nd when it comes to points allowed. So they've actually done a fantastic job at restricting restricting points throughout the regular season. Golden State Valkyries have always been a fantastic team, and that's why coming into this next one, we do very much like the under for this situation here. So definitely keep an eye out for someone like Jordan Canada coming into this game, as we do believe and are expecting to see her go on the under in this situation. So for that reason, keep an eye out for someone like Jordan Canada coming into this one. So Jordan Canada, 10.5 points for less, I think is a fantastic pick. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but PrizePicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first player we're going to be talking about is none other than Brittany Griner. So as you all know, Brittany Griner, great player for none other than Atlanta Dream. And when it comes to Atlanta Dream, we definitely have seen this, or have seen her play very well for Dream, because she's actually averaged 9.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, 0.9 assists, and 0.1 steals. So we definitely have seen her do a great job as a center for Atlanta. And when it comes to Atlanta, they do have themselves a very good matchup against Golden State Valkyries. Now it's definitely going to be an exciting game between both of these teams, but looking at where both of these teams do, actually rank, we do know that Golden State Valkyries and Atlanta Dream have actually fallen quite a few spots down. They used to be in a much higher position, but they now currently sit at 5th in the WNBA. However, they do rank 2nd in the Eastern Conference. Now, they do actually have a record of 11 wins and 7 losses. That's a 61.1% win percentage. They are 7-3 at home, 4-4 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. So they are hoping to snap that in this next matchup. Now, looking at Golden State Valkyries, it is somewhat, I would say similar, because they actually only rank 1 slot below, as they rank at 6 in the WNBA with a record of 9 wins and 8 losses. Now, they rank 4th in the Western Conference, and on top of that, they also have a 52.9% win percentage, 7-3 at home, 2-5 and away, and are also on a 1-game losing streak. So looking at both of these teams, it's definitely a pretty even matchup when it comes ranking wise. And looking at Golden State Valkyries and where they do rank defensively, we do know that they rank 2nd when it comes to points allowed, 5th when it comes to assists allowed, and when it comes to rebounds allowed, they also do rank 9th. Now, coming into this game, we all know Brittany Griner definitely has a decent usage rate for this Atlanta Dream team, but coming into this matchup, we actually do like the under for this situation here for someone like Brittany Griner. Now, Griner is a great player. She definitely does have a higher usage rate in the points and rebounding department. Now, Valkyries don't really do a great job at, restricting rebounds, but they do a fantastic job, not at just restricting points, but also do a fantastic job at restricting points to the also center position. So that's a big reason why we do very much like the under for this situation here. We are definitely and are expecting someone like Brittany Griner to have a lot of defensive pressure on her, as Golden State Valkyries, the way they do like to play defense, it's usually, that sort of style. But looking at her last 5 games, we definitely have seen, Brittany at times, especially when she is mainly the defensive focus, she's definitely struggled. But we do see against, Chicago, she faced off against them, 93-80 victory. Actually, in 18 minutes of game time, however, had 3 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist there. After that, faced off against Dallas, had a 68-55 loss, had 2 points, 6 rebounds, and 0 assists in that matchup. Then faced off against Minnesota, had a 96-92 loss in overtime, and had 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist there. Then faced off against New York Liberty with a 90-81 victory, had 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists there. Then faced off against Seattle Storm, had 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and also on top of that, not only lost 80-79, but also had 19 minutes of game time. So, we definitely have seen Brittany Griner at times go on the under compared to the over. If we look at the last 5, she's going on the under when we are, focusing on points, as we are strictly focusing there. We have seen her go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 when it comes to points wise. And coming into this matchup against Golden State Valkyries, we not only just do a fantastic job at restricting points, but also do a fantastic job at restricting points to the center position. We definitely see someone like Brittany going on the under here. So definitely keep an eye out for her line. I see a lot of value there to go on the under, especially if the line is too close to, her averages. So for that reason, keep an eye out for the under there. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Sammy Whitcomb. Now, as you all know, Sammy, great player for Phoenix Mercury. Mercury, and she's done a fantastic job so far this season, averaging 9.6 points, 3.4 rebounds, 2.4 assists, and 0.9 steals. So we definitely have seen her do a great job. Now, coming into this matchup, it's definitely going to be an exciting one because Phoenix Mercury have themselves a great game against none other than Dallas Wings. So it's definitely going to be an exciting game there. Now, looking at this matchup, we do know that Dallas Wings, Phoenix Mercury, the rankings between both of these teams, we have seen Phoenix do a pretty decent job, I would say, this season, because they currently have the second spot in the WNBA. So I would say a little bit more than pretty good, but yeah, they've been on an absolute tear lately. They are not only just second in the WNBA, but they are also second in the Western Conference, and they have a record of 12 wins and 6 losses. So they have a 66.7% win percentage. They're a 7-3 at home, 5-3 from away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. So they have lost, 2 games back to back, but they are looking to change that in this next one, especially against Dallas Wings, because unfortunately, Dallas Wings have been on the other side of the table in a sense that they rank 11th in the WNBA. So they have been a very, very poor team. And on top of that, not only do they rank 11th, but they also rank the worst when it comes to all teams in the Western Conference. So it's definitely been tough there. Now they have 6 wins, 13 losses. That is a 31.6% win percentage. They have a 4-6 record at home and 2-7 record for away. And they are currently on a 2-game win streak as well. Now, when we look at both of these teams, looking at Dallas Wings and where they do rank defensively, like I mentioned, Dallas Wings are a poor team, and it's definitely shown in their defense because they actually rank 10th when it comes to points allowed. They also rank 13th when it comes to assists allowed, and they do rank a little bit better in rebounds as they rank 4th. Now, coming into this game, of course, Sammy Whitcomb definitely has a great usage rate in all 3 departments. And we do like the over, however, for this situation here for points and assists. Now, obviously, Dallas Wings do rank a little bit better in that rebounding category. Now, there definitely is still a possibility for her to go on the over, but we see that being a little bit more 50-50. We see a more and higher likelihood of her being able to hit on the over in the points and assists, because when we look at Dallas Wings, they are just been a very, very poor team at both of those categories. And on top of that, Sammy Whitcomb is a guard as well, and Dallas Wings do struggle against her position, which definitely helps us in this case. Now, looking at her last 5 games, she's definitely played some pretty big games so far. We see on the 20th, faced off against New York Liberty, had an 89-81 victory, had 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists there. Then on the 22nd, faced off against Chicago Sky, had a 107-86 victory, had 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists there. After that, on the 28th, faced off against New York Liberty, had a 106-91 victory, had 15 points, 0 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Then against Las Vegas Aces, had an 84-81 loss, also had 14 points, 1 rebound, and 3 assists in that matchup. Then faced off against Dallas Wings and had 3 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist in 26 minutes of game time. Now, we definitely have seen, we did see Phoenix Mercury and Sammy Whitcomb face off against Dallas Wings as of recent. Now, obviously, Sammy has definitely, I would say underperformed in that matchup. She did go on the under in all 3 categories. However, we do know that there are going to be games like that where some teams just get better than the other. Some people have their off nights. And for that reason, we definitely saw that with Sammy in that recent game. Now coming into this next one, we should definitely see her be able to do what she's more likely to do, which is go on the over in the points and assists category. Now it definitely does help us in this situation because we are expecting when the picks do come out, since she did have a pretty poor performance against Dallas Wings as of recent, we are expecting the lines to come out very, very low. And there could be a lot more value now to go on the over due to that situation. So, don't let that most recent game fool you. Coming into this next one, Dallas Wings are a poor defensive team, and we should see Sammy Whitcomb be able to perform a little bit better than she did in that most recent game. So, for that reason, keep an eye out for the over. But like I always mentioned, first, focus on points and assists, as I've mentioned, as Wings do rank, a little bit worse than that. But also keep an eye out for the line. If it is under her averages, then definitely look to go on the over. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Monique Billings. So, Monique, great player for Golden State Valkyries, and she's done a fantastic job throughout the regular season, averaging 7.7 points, 5.2 rebounds, 0.5 assists, and 0.7 steals. So we definitely have seen her do a great job there. Now, when we look at this matchup, it's definitely been an exciting one because we do actually see that, Golden State Valkyries face off against Atlanta Dream. So we have definitely already mentioned this before. Obviously Golden State Valkyries and Atlanta Dream, where they do rank, we do know that Golden State Valkyries rank 6th with a record of 9 wins and 8 losses. But on top of that, over the last 10 games, they are also 7-3. So they've definitely done, a pretty decent job there. Now, looking at the other side, we do see Atlanta Dream. Now, Atlanta Dream do actually rank 5th, as we've mentioned, but on top of that, they also, over the last 10 games, have a 6-4 record. So, Atlanta Dream, as of lately, hasn't really been doing too well in a sense that they have definitely lost a lot more games, and it has dropped them quite a few, sort of steps back. But coming into this next matchup, it's definitely going to be an exciting one. And looking at Atlanta Dream defensively, we still do see that they rank 3rd in points allowed, 3rd in assists allowed, and 2nd in rebounds allowed. So although they have fallen, we are still expecting someone like Monique Billings to go on the under in this situation here. Now, a big reason being is due to the fact that Atlanta Dream, yes, do rank very, very well when it comes to, restricting points, rebounds, and assists. But on top of that, what we also do see with Atlanta is that they are a pretty slow-paced team. Now, since they are a slow-paced team, what we have seen is that they do a fantastic job at slowing down faster-paced teams, and that's what we are expecting in this matchup here. Now, obviously, slow pace or slower pace means less volume. Less volume means less opportunity for someone like Monique Billings, to score, to rebound, and also to play make. So those are some of the big reasons why we do very much like the under for this situation here. Atlanta Dream, although they have been losing, as I mentioned, their defense has still remained very, very good. And, I think a pace is definitely something or a big reason why that is the case. So, the slow pace that they like to do play really slows down a lot of teams, and as I've mentioned, it definitely does affect a lot of people's player props in that sense. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for someone like Monique Billings. But looking at her last 5 games, see on the 23rd faced off against Connecticut, had 4 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist there. Then faced off against New York Liberty on the 26th of last month, had 2 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist in that matchup. Then on the 28th, faced off against Chicago, had an 83-78 victory with 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 0 assists. Then after that, on the 30th, faced off against Seattle, had an 84-57 victory with 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 0 assists there. Now, and when you look even further than that, you also do see against Minnesota, they did play 82-71 loss to them. They had 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 0 assists. So, when it comes to, Golden State Valkyries and Monique Billings, yes, they have faced off against some pretty tough teams, as of lately. What we have seen time and time again is that when they do face off against tough teams, Monique definitely, really has a huge hit to her usage rate because of it. So for that reason, coming into this next matchup, we do very much like the under for this one. So for that reason, Monique Billings, keep an eye out for the line. If the line is too close to her averages, then definitely look to go on the under. So getting to the next player, we're going to be talking about none other than Tiara McCohen. So Tiara McCohen, great player for Dallas Wings, as we all know. Now, she's done a fantastic job so far this season because we've actually seen her average, 5.5 points, 4.6 rebounds, 0.6 assists, and 0.3 steals. So we definitely have seen her do a fantastic job throughout, the regular season. Now, coming into this next matchup, it's definitely going to be an exciting one. But just looking at the matchup, as we do know, Dallas Wings do face off against Phoenix Mercury, as we've mentioned before. Now, obviously, this matchup, Dallas Wings are a little bit lower in ranking. They rank 11th in the WNBA. But on top of that, also have a record of 6 wins and 13 losses. So it's definitely been a bit of a tough battle for them. In the last 10 games, they are 5-5. So we are definitely expecting, Dallas Wings to try to see if they can, put together some wins or pull together some wins. They are currently on a 2-game win streak, so they are hoping, to really push forward from there. Now, looking at this matchup, obviously they face off against Phoenix Mercury, who Phoenix definitely have a little bit of a better record. Now, Phoenix Mercury do have a very good record of 12 wins and 6 losses. Now, in the last 10 games, they are also 7-3, so they've definitely done a fantastic job there. Now, they rank second, as we mentioned, and also second in the Western Conference. But when you also look further, what we also do see is that when it comes to this matchup, defensively, we do see that Phoenix Mercury do actually rank 7th when it comes to points allowed. They also rank 7th when it comes to assists allowed, and then rebounds allowed, they do rank 7th as well. So we definitely have seen, Tiara McCohen do a great job throughout the regular season, and that's why coming into this next matchup, we do very much like the over for this situation here for someone like Tiara McCohen. Now, obviously, McCohen does have a higher usage rate in the points and rebounds. That's definitely where I would focus on a little bit more than anything else. And that's a big reason why we do very much like the over for this situation here. Now, looking at, someone like Tiara McCohen, we have also seen that, in points and rebounds, she's definitely shown out against much easier teams, and we definitely see that in her last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we do see it faced off against Chicago on a 97-92 loss, had 6 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists there. After that, we also did see that against Chicago again, had a 94-83 loss, 3 points, 3 rebounds, and 0 assists in that matchup. Then faced off against Seattle, had an 83-77 loss with 2 points, 5 rebounds, and 0 assists there. But she definitely did see a decrease in her minutes in that matchup. Then against LA Sparks, had a 93-79 loss with 7 points, 2 rebounds, and also 1 assist there. After that, against Phoenix, had a 98-89 victory with 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 0 assists in that matchup. So it's definitely been pretty interesting for, Tiara McCohen. She's definitely had some pretty big games in a sense of going over on her line. Now, her averages obviously aren't that high, so when you look at her line, you definitely are just keeping an eye out whether she is able to get above that 5.5 points mark and 4.6 rebound mark. But like I mentioned before, I think points and rebounds is definitely where you want to focus on for something like this. And coming into this one, we do very much think that Tiara McCohen will be able to do it. Even though Phoenix Mercury are a great team, they definitely have struggled defensively, so we should see Tiara be able to go on the over. So for that reason, keep an eye out for the over for this situation for someone like Tiara McCohen.